like,
You can't.
sorry, totally got.
Oh, Jesus Christ! This poor guy's trying to have a very serious, heartfelt, and then you attacked his national hero.
Well, he's definitely a fan of like my videos because he knows I'm a hip hop head. Like he would only ask that question if he knows. Like I had FD Signifier on my show recently to talk about like Drake and Kendrick and stuff. It was funny,
You
but
didn't have me on, but you had that guy on. Thanks.
we should talk about Drake and
Too
Kendrick.
late. You already had your black guy. You
My
chose that
black-
motherfucker over me. I see what
Oh,
it's all about now. It's fucked up.
man, I'll if I have you on, it'll be for talk about teenage anarchism. That's what
Nope, you should have had me on to talk about fucking Drake and Kendrick, but no, you wanted to have that dirty son of a bitch. I'm just
I didn't even know you cared about this. I remember we talked.
I've done multiple shows on it.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't follow those ones. I heard like I remember last. Well, you definitely. I know you were aware of it, but I didn't know if you like cared that much.
Yeah.
Huh.
When this year ends and you walk up to a random person and say, "Excuse me, what was the story of the year for 2024? Drake Kendrick battle." No one's going to say the election.
Oh, it's way
No
more.
one's going to say the Olympics. They're going to say Drake and Kendrick if they remember.
It was definitely more entertaining and less depressing than the election.
Yes.
I'm gonna go on a whim.
Were you team Drake? Were you team Drake? Were you sitting there?
No.
Why'd you look at me so serious?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with being Team Drake, but I think like I came into it like I was surprised Drake responded because
Really?
I think I never saw them as like real competitors. Like to me, Kendrick is top 5, if not the GOAT. Like I think he's like LeBron James of rap.
Okay.
In terms of like I think he's put out the best quality, like the best music.
Mhm.
What he just has left, I guess, is impact. Maybe like that's the only thing to be the GOAT. He needs impact. But in terms of quality of work, he is the GOAT. To me, Drake is more like 50 Cent. Like he's a really good hit maker.
Okay.
He's a great hit maker. And he can rap well when he wants to, but he's just not in that league. So the fact that Drake even responded and did well, I think he did pretty well with Family Matters. It was pretty dope. It impressed me, but then he got slaughtered, which should have been expected because it's Kendrick fucking Lamar. We got a lot of good music from it. I was very happy with it.
I mean, we tried to cover all the things that I think happened during that moment, which are different than other battles, where you have kind of a quickness of music coming out. You didn't really need to go through distributors or record labels. YouTube can instantly put a song up. Even if you go through Spotify, maybe you don't know this. Even if you're one of those large artists and you go through Spotify, it's such a process to get your music up. It takes about a week. So that's why that stuff wasn't on Spotify right away. It was on YouTube right away because they can just post a song instantly to YouTube and have it up, which is what those two are doing, which I found kind of interesting. There was a lot. There's race issues to it that I found interesting because no one had Drake's been popular for almost like 20 years, at least 15 years. Drake's been popular, which is very rare for hip hop music to have someone be on top. I think that speaks to a certain time we're in right now where we're living in a loop where it's hard for us to hear new things because you have to get out of your own bubble. And that's where we're very comfortable and where we live, which kind of goes into what we're talking about right now, which is the interesting thing about Israel Palestine is that people got out of their own bubble for long enough to change a paradigm in the way we see Palestinian life. That's fascinating. That's amazing. Again, first time I've ever seen this in my life. I grew up in Cold War America, watching all those propaganda films put out by Canon Pictures about kind of almost minstrel show movies about Palestinians as bumbling terrorists. Right? This is how a lot of Americans grow up.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're seeing all that go by the wayside. And people are going, but they're killing the babies. And that's too much. It's a bridge too far. They have to stop. You have Jewish citizens, Israeli citizens protesting in mass to say it's too much. You killed the guy that you were negotiating with It's too much.
Oh yeah, like I've seen way more positive coverage by independent media, at least, on this issue than I've ever seen. Um, my dad, my dad likes to tell me a lot about like how bad the 2000s were as an Arab, because he was a tour guide and he used to take people to Yemen and Egypt a lot as a destination. And then when 9/11 happened, his client
It's a
list
tour
declined
guide or a drug mule.
dramatically. Come on, man.
I'm joking.
But yeah, big reason moved to um Ottawa at the time to like get a government job, basically. Just stop doing being a tour guide, because like where he used to take people, there was just a less demand because no one wanted to go to the Arab countries anymore because of 9/11.
Yeah, 9/11
So
was a game changer. I mean, that was horrible for people that were of Muslim descent in the West.
mhm. Yeah, so I guess the international community, I've hope for that to some extent. The United States, man, it's I think what will undermine Israel is Israel itself. The United
Mhm,
States isn't going to do much. The thing that I see with Israel is that they really are going in the direction that by just throughout history cycles of like a declining civilization. I mean, they have decline of elites, like sorry, division between their elites.
mhm.
They have a civil war almost. You saw that footage when the people who were imprisoned for raping Palestinians
Yeah.
were later like you had a bunch of settlers protest to have those people freed. They don't even believe in their own rule of law. I mean, this is like close to Nazi Germany. So you have a huge division. You have the far right threatening to coup Netanyahu if he makes a peace deal. It's a pretty big deal.
Mhm,
So it's I think if what will happen in this conflict, Israel will undermine itself. But it's I really stay away from making predictions for this thing because like there's just things that can change everything. Like Iran and Israel could go to war.
mhm,
One of them could get nuked.
mhm.
Who knows? It's really hard to tell. It's very bleak, but I just see right now the conflict going in a different direction will be more due to Israel's, you know, itself collapsing due to its own actions rather than America necessarily suspending arms to it. That'd be great if it stopped arming it.
Mhm,
If it even sanctioned it like South Africa, that'd be
mhm,
great.
mhm.
I just don't see that. I don't see Kamala Harris doing that. I mean, she literally interrupted a protester yesterday talking about genocide, and she said, "With that attitude, Trump's gonna win."
Yikes. Well, hey, she's thirst trap Oprah. Nobody said she was a great orator.